Hi everyone and welcome to Club 3 episode 23 of Rolling in the Isles on FM20 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. It's been an amazing start to our first season in the Premier League. You can see currently we sit in 5th place after 5 games. I don't have any visions of grandeur about remaining in this sort of position long term, and you can see what the next 3 fixtures are going to do for us: Liverpool, Man United and Arsenal. So far we've played some of the lesser lights, as it were. We got a decent 0-0 draw in the first game against Leicester, and then we played Watford, Sheffield United and Brighton in the Premier League and won all 3 of those matches, and then lost against Wolves in the English League Cup. We got through to extra time at 1-1. We then went into a penalty shootout and unfortunately lost the penalty shootout. It was still a reasonably good performance. I rotated the side as well, so everybody's had a chance to play so far this season. Last game out, we played Norwich and got a 2-2 draw, which was all right. Again, it was just one of those games where we didn't quite get going properly and had to come and get a decent result late on. Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, though, are the next 3 games. Tottenham, Man City are on the horizon. So you can see that it's going to turn up a notch or 20 in the next couple of games. So today is Liverpool. If we go and have a look at the competition page, the Premier League table, and then go and look at the season preview, you can see that Liverpool are supposed to finish 3rd. Man City are the favourites for the title this season. Chelsea and Tottenham make up the other 4, with Arsenal and Man United just outside that. So you can see that it's the normal big 6, as it were, that are causing the problems in the Premier League. And today we get one of those really, really big games. That these are the reasons why we play in the Premier League, isn't it? Really, for games like today. So in terms of the squad, as I say, most players have had an opportunity to play. A couple of people haven't, just through injury. The likes of Story still isn't quite back enough for today's game, just because his match sharpness isn't good enough. But I might try and get him a sub appearance occasion in the next couple of games, just to see if we can boost that up a little bit and get him back playing again. But you can see that his understudy Porteous has come in and done okay. There's some issues here in terms of some not performing quite as well as others, but they're being carried by the likes of Noel, the new youngster who's got a goal and an assist in 5 games. And the likes of Loku Doku, who's got a goal so far in his 4 matches. And then we've got Ida, who is doing what we want him to do, which is score goals. And he's got 3 in 5 games. So you can see those are the big stars of our show, which is fabulous. And long may that continue. We just want a couple of these other guys to come up and join them a little bit in terms of how they're contributing as well. But all in all, there is no way we can complain about this. 5 games in, sitting in the top sort of 4 or 5 of the Premier League, getting us some points on the board early and getting everybody playing, which is really positive. So for the Liverpool match for today, we've got Bazunu in goal, Matheson at right back, Target at left back, Porteous and Harwood-Bellis in central defence, with Joku, Vera and Martinez in central midfield, with Noel on the right, Loku Doku on the left and Ida up top, with a bench of Story, Cooper, May, Crowley, Murphy, Murray and Aldrin. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So in terms of team talk, we've gone with, I know that we're underdogs, but go and give a performance to cheer for, give these fans something to get behind. It's going to be very tough away from home at Anfield against a very good Liverpool side, and we'll see how we get on. They've got Dele Alli and Mo Salah, Alexander-Arnold, De Ligt in there. There's some very, very good players in their side, and probably the rest of them are very good as well. We just don't know who some of them are necessarily, but this is Liverpool we're talking about, so they're going to be decent. They had a decent shot, not a decent shot, a decent header off of that free kick come in, but the goalkeeper Bazunu does very, very well and then clears the ball nicely up to Ida, who drops it back into Loku Doku and then into Joku. And you can see that we kept the ball very nicely from that initial clearance by the goalkeeper and continue to move forward into Ida, and a decent effort, and the goalkeeper gets right down to his left hand side very quickly onto the floor and parries it away. But we had a shot, we had a chance, which is really, really encouraging so early in the game to see that we can compete at this level. Whatever happens in terms of result from this game, all I'm really after at this point in the season, being a brand new team in the Premier League, is to see how we can compete with these big guys. And so far, it's not looking too bad. Although on this occasion, you can see that Liverpool have moved the ball very nicely down to this left-hand side and continued to build up their play through the middle, and had a shot against the post and the follow-up Mo Salah. Mo Salah responded quicker than all of the defenders, came in off that right-hand side once that initial shot had hit the post. And our defence, I was a little bit disappointed with there, that they didn't respond a little bit quicker. A good shot off the crossbar, and then it's Mo Salah off that full-back area, left his full-back behind and got there first and poked it home for 1-0 after 18 minutes or so, 90 minutes. So you can see that, again, it was just a little bit of a lapse in concentration maybe from the defenders, and we create some of our own issues a little bit, which is unfortunate. But we cleared the ball very nicely there. And maintained possession very nicely. Found it on the right hand side and then up top to Ida, who then loses out really a weak header into the attacking midfield area, and Liverpool pick up the ball again and go right the way back to their goalkeeper and rebuild their structure of play again down this right hand side with Alexander Arnold even, who is exceptionally good, isn't he? So they switch to play across to the left hand side, but we keep our shape pretty well. There's plenty in that box for us. Can we get something on the ball to clear it? Is that an own goal? I think it might. I don't know. We'll have to look at the replay. Yeah, it was an own goal from Porteous. Unfortunately, the cross eventually comes in from Maddison at this point here. And the first man, Porteous, tries to head it past the post and out for a corner kick and slightly gets it wrong and puts it right in that corner, and the goalkeeper couldn't do much about it. And unfortunately, again, we go 2-0 down from stuff that we've kind of given to Liverpool a little bit. I would say that up until this point, they haven't really got their goals from their own sort of world-class talent. It's been a little bit lax at the back. That was a decent effort, slightly wide by them. But again, we just need to suppress some of those little errors that will creep into our game against some of the big boys to get anything from these matches. But I don't really expect to. As I say, if we just continue to compete well, I'll be happy enough. I thought that might be a little bit offside, that one. Apparently this is getting embarrassing, the commentary says, in the first half. I don't think it is at all, really. This is one of the title favourites against a newly promoted side. I thought that it might be a tad offside, but it was just my eyes playing tricks on me completely, because there was no issue with that one whatsoever. And at half-time, we're going to have to do quite something to come out in the second half and not allow this to get into a really big scoreline. So 3-0 down at half-time. I think two of those goals I'm disappointed with. The third one they created very nicely. That's fine. And we are going to assertively say that was... let's go with show me something else in the second half, and then we'll boost them up. I have faith in you to each of the three parts of our team. And then we'll send them back out there, and then we'll just change a few little things. So we'll pause the game and we'll ask them to get creative. That should boost their enthusiasm for this second half. And then from balanced, we're going to go up into the positive just for a little while and see whether that unlocks anything for us moving forward. You can see in terms of the match stats, they have dominated the game in terms of chances created, etc. But I still think that, you know, we haven't done terribly. We've just made some errors at some key points. Again, though, they get a chance early in the second half down this right-hand side. Too much space for Alexander Arnold. Skips past the defender. Has a go at goal himself from quite a narrow angle. Probably shouldn't have at that point. But there's the danger sign again down that right-hand side for Liverpool. But now it's down the left-hand side, and again it was an error in that fullback position. Player on the ball dwelled on it for too long, and Liverpool nick it. Alexander Arnold again goes for that far corner and again misses it. But they're having a lot of chances, and eventually they're gonna make us pay again. You can see in terms of match stats, they're dominating the chances, they're dominating the possession reasonably, 40-60 basically, which isn't terrible, but it's not brilliant either. And we're getting into the point now where we probably need to make a couple of changes. So we're going to do that. And you can see that we've got some anxiety and some frustration and some low numbers in terms of our average ratings today. So we're going to have to change some of these to get that to change. I can't really afford to make a defensive change at this point. So I'm going to bring Joku off and bring May on. And we're going to bring Loku Doku out because he's furious, apparently, and bring Murray in. And then we got one more, and it's Knoll on a 6 average rating, which is terrible, really. Maybe that's just one game too many for the youngster in terms of being able to cope with at this stage in his fledgling derby career. But we'll check out how he gets on in some of the other big matches along the way. But so far on this one, not his best day by any stretch. And again, it's Alexander-Arnold. On this occasion, he goes across goal. The goalkeeper parries it out, and then it's their striking option comes in and pokes the ball home from a loose ball in that 6-yard box. And again, we are a little bit unlucky in terms of he rode a couple of challenges. Goalkeeper probably should have done better with that. And then it was just a simple tap in, wasn't it, really? And we go 4-0 down at 69 minutes. We are going to make all of those changes. And then we are going to have to go very attacking and just see what happens in terms of we've got nothing else to lose. So we might as well see if we can get on one effort maybe and try and get a goal. This is kind of what I expected. And I think we should all probably expect this for this particular season. We come up against these really big sides. And we might nab a draw against one or so of them if we're very lucky in one of these games. But mostly they are a cut above us in every aspect of the pitch so far. And especially our defensive work hasn't been good enough. So I do expect this in this particular season, but it doesn't make it any less disappointing when it happens. And again, Liverpool survive one of our attacking options, and they come away with the ball very nicely and pass it around very nicely. We're chasing shadows now, really. I think that our game is well and truly done. And you can see that they're just having a lot of fun keeping the ball, really, and moving it forward. And gradually they found themselves down the right-hand side again to Alexander-Arnold, who is one of their stars, puts the cross in, header in at the goal, but it goes slightly over the top, and we can breathe a sigh of relief on that occasion. And we get a chance to clear our lines through Brazunu in the goal kick, but he gives it straight to Maddison down that left-hand side, and they come back at us again. And then the final whistle goes. And we lost 4-0. I think there's some disappointing elements in terms of our defensive work in the first half specifically, which is really unfortunate. But I kind of think that's going to happen to us. I think that's how this game will show that they're better than we are, that we're going to make key errors at key moments. So what we're going to do in terms of the team talk, I think I'm probably just going to... I'm going to go with the assistant manager, let him rebuild them, tell them it was a bit disappointing. But they look motivated and fired up by that, which is encouraging. They could have been completely done in by that sort of response, but they're not. They're up for the challenge, and they're going to have to be, because the next couple of games don't get any easier whatsoever as we come up against both Man United and Arsenal. So there's a lot of big size still to come in this league. So next episode, what we're going to come back to. So I'm going to play the next few games myself, and we're going to come back for the Tottenham game at the end of October. I think, another big side to come and play. That occasion, it will be a home match for Derby County, which will be good. And in between time, we've got Man United, Arsenal, Bournemouth and Villa. If we can get a few points from the Bournemouth-Villa games, then I'll be really happy with that. Anything else is a bonus at this point, isn't it, really? But there we go. That's kind of what we're expecting. We came up against a really good Liverpool side. We created a couple of half chances. We competed mostly for a fair chunk of the game in terms of just general play. but we didn't have quite the quality at the back to cope with Liverpool, and I suspect that will probably be a bit of a theme going forward. If we can get Story back into that central defence, having come back from his knock, and he can work again with Harwood Bellis, then maybe that will give us a better sounding. We'll see. But that's for the next game, the next episode. For now, Liverpool did us in. We still sit comfortably in 5th currently. Most teams having played the 6th game as we have, and I'm really, really happy with that. So long may it continue. Join me for the next episode. Until then, thanks for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Click that like button if you haven't. Till next time though, I'll see you very soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.